All my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950. Activism in the 21st century takes many forms. For Minnesota Chippewa artist Rory Wakemup, it's Funktivism. He uses humor, satire, and regalia to challenge social and environmental injustice. Smart Wars is Wakemup's latest solo exhibition. It's a bold mix of Indigenous heritage with modern commentary. Through his multimedia art, Wakeup challenges perceptions and sparks conversations about Native resilience, climate action, and truth-telling. See Smart Wars at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis, February 27th through April 5th. Details at allmyrelationsarts.org. Did you know that from birth to age 3, simple activities like talking, playing, reading, and singing can profoundly impact your child's development? Little Moments Count is dedicated to providing parents with the resources they need to make the most of these moments. Visit the website littlemomentscount.org to connect to a collection of resources designed to support you in giving your child the best start in life. That's littlemomentscount.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas is your pathway to a bachelor's degree. Located in downtown Minneapolis, Doherty Family College offers an affordable education that includes free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaches, and a Metro Transit pass. As a full-time Doherty Family College student, you'll benefit from mentorship from St. Thomas faculty, along with paid internships and support from Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn your dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, rain and snow with a low around freezing. Then Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms with a high around 49. The music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut. Hit me cut again, man.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Karagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dega. And this portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, you got down here that April is the month for National Sexual Assault Awareness Day, and please support Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition for more resources at miwsac.org. So that's a good one there, Haley.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's always important. And we want to spread awareness about that in every month. But yeah, just recognizing that April is National Sexual Assault Awareness Day. Robert, it's also April Fool's Day.
Yeah, my holiday. Oh,
yeah, that could be yours too. I want to start off this show with some of these funny April Fool's jokes that I saw Indigenous.tv post on Instagram. Maybe we could go back and forth on these, Robert, quickly. Yeah, the first one I thought was funny. They said, Indian time is over. We're always on time now.
Well, I don't like Indian time personally, but a lot of people do. Oh, wow.
The
Hey,
excuse to be late.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's Indian time for our listeners out there. Is that, oh, it's supposed to start at, 6 o'clock and come rolling in about quarter after. So I try to fool people and tell them it's at a quarter to 6 or
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
minutes beforehand. But hey, Elon Musk just offered to buy treaty rights. That's a April
Ooh.
Fool's.
Yeah,
He's a
let's make
big fool.
big April Fool's joke right there.
Yeah.
This was a funny one too. Snotty Nose Res Kids drop a country album. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. Dang. Aren't they the ones, are they the ones that did, uh, what is that one music video? It's pretty funny. I'm a bougie Indian?
Oh, I think that's that one. Yeah, bougie.
A
Yeah.
bougie Indian.
Yeah.
Reminds me of some Indians I know here in Minnesota. Oh, hey, breaking, res dogs are unionizing.
The Res Dogs are unionizing. Yeah, that was another one of those April Fool jokes from Indigenous.tv.
Hey, I had to take a nap because I was down at the state capitol, Haley, and,
Yeah.
any excuse for me to take a nap, of course, but I was down there and, the ICWA, which is the Indian Child Welfare Act, there was a hearing today at the Minnesota Capitol earlier this morning, and it was really interesting, that the side of the family there's a, family that wanted to adopt 2 native twins, boys, and this has really turned into something. They're 3 years old now, and this has been going on, and now it made it to the Minnesota Supreme Court, and it was interesting. I saw, one of the attorneys, Mark Fidler, who's, in the documentary Blood Memory, and it's interesting about, Mark is that he, was a proponent for ICWA and worked in the first ICWA law office, in the 1990s, and he's on the other side of the aisle now. He's totally
Mm.
against ICWA, and this case is national for a couple reasons, Haley. And I think if they changed and had the white parents end up with these native kids, it would really be a precedent around the country. So it was really important, and it was really interesting to see our Supreme Court here in Minnesota question both sides of the aisle. And I just put some tobacco out there and hope they do the right thing. This is really kind of one of those things where they're coming at um, the courts in one way, but really their underlining um, thing that they really want to do, Haley, is disrupt ICWA. And we know last
Mm.
year the Supreme Court, or maybe it was 2 years ago, the Supreme Court of the United States kept ICWA as a law, and
Mhm.
also Minnesota did a version of that to protect Native American kids
Yeah.
in Minnesota, and it's still one of the biggest uh, group of foster kids is Native Americans, and so
Mhm.
it's a thing that we really need to talk about and listen to. But I was down at the Capitol and trying to figure out what's going on, and I got to give a shout out. I saw Ogama there. She was working for Ampers, and it was good to see her. And also Vice President Daniel DeLong of Ho Chunk Nation was there too.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, well, thank you, Dega, and everyone else for being out there supporting ICWA, Indian Child Welfare Act. We know how important that is in our communities, keeping Native kids with Native families, just provides that support and that cultural identity that's so needed to, just be strong throughout your life.
Absolutely. Hey, also too, our friend Gina was on yesterday, Gina Peltier, and we got to remind everybody of what's going on Tuesday tonight from 6 to 7.
Yeah, so Gina Peltier and Leanna Goose, they're doing an action hour to protect wild rice here in Minnesota. It's a Zoom link, and you can find that on Native Roots Radio's Facebook page. It's tonight from 6 to 7. So if you want to just hop on during that hour, you'll learn how to make calls to legislatures. You will write emails, develop some drafts, and then work to get a hearing for that 2025 Wild Rice Act.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and also one of the things we had a listener I talked to us about this, and then send us some information about the healthcare justice lobby day at the Capitol tomorrow, April 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 12:30. And the key issues, Haley, are making healthcare companies pay what they owe, erasing medical debt, defending paid family and medical leave, and protecting Medicaid.
Yeah, so that's tomorrow at the Capitol again. If you're able to show up, definitely we appreciate that, and fighting for some really important things. I know on Saturday, April 5th, there's going to be another nationwide 50-51 protest, and that'll be at all of the state capitol buildings as well.
Yeah, so I'll probably be there on Saturday, but good times for all. We really got to really show up, and I don't know if you saw this, but I just got to give a quick shout out to Senator Brooker for speaking some serious truth today.
Yeah, wasn't he? He was speaking for over like 17 hours the last time I checked.
Yeah, and a true patriot, and then that's what we have to do as progressive people. Is really that's why I think of 50-50 one protest is that's something we can do, and we're obligated to do that. To really stand up for the country and also hopefully get back our country.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple minutes left until we get Ruth Anna Buffalo on from Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. Do you want to do our little Ho-Chunk word of the day, Digga?
Yeah. Just so there's no test, I'm down. Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, yesterday we talked about the Ho-Chunk word for bear, and that is hunch. Hunch. And today I decided to go with another clan animal. So in Ho-Chunk, we have 12 clans. And today we're going to talk about the Ho-Chunk word for elk. And that is hoo-wah. Hoo-wah. Kind of sounds like ho-wah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ho-wah, hoo-wah. But that's elk. And then the male elk, the word for that is hoo-wah-hete. Hoo-wah-hete is male elk.
Wow, that's cool. Hey, next time, Haley, too, I think would be kind of fun with our Facebook, YouTube feed, is you pop up the animals picture. Oh, wow.
Oh, I should.
Right. Well, this is a work in progress, and there's more names to come, and a lot more names to come in the clans.
Yes.
But I appreciate that, put some culture into the show. And
yeah, keep us accountable, learning language.
That's right. Hey, up next, Ruth Anna Buffalo and our weekly update. This is Native Roots Radio. Have you considered a career in the museum field? The Minnesota Historical Society is now accepting applications for its Native American Museum Fellowship. The 10-week summer program is a mix of workshops, seminars, and hands-on internships at the Minnesota Historical Society. It is open to undergraduate students, recent graduates, and community scholars with an interest in museums and heritage studies. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
I love my Toyotas from Rudy Luther Toyota for one simple reason. I can depend on them. You know they keep you safe, and they're incredibly reliable, fuel-efficient, comfortable, and stylish. The Consumer Reports Best of 2025 edition has 10 Toyotas as best buys in affordability. Toyotas are some of Consumer Reports' highest-rated certified pre-owned vehicles, and Rudy Luther Toyota's service department is the one place I take my Sienna for all of its maintenance needs. Toyotas are fantastic vehicles because they're fantastic vehicles. See for yourself at Rudy Luther Toyota off of 394 in Golden Valley.
In a galaxy not so far away, the battle for truth rages on. Smart Wars is a solo exhibition by Rory Wakemup, a Minnesota Chippewa artist who flips the script on Star Wars using humor and regalia. Wakemup challenges colonial narratives and reclaims indigenous values of balance, resilience, and environmental activism. This exhibition runs February 27th through April 5th at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. More information at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, this is Governor Walls. Thank you for listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, before Ruth Anna Buffalo joins us, Haley, before we go to the Capitol and storm the Capitol with the protest here at 5050.1, there's a maple syrup day happening up, and that's really interesting. I want to send one of us there because we have that land in White Bear Township now.
Hey, yeah, well, good news, because I do plan on going to this event, and I hope people listening join me here. This is at Wild River State Park, and this is this weekend, Saturday, April 5th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's maple syrup day, so we're going to be kind of sugar bushing and tapping some trees. We're going to learn to identify sugar maple trees, measure and tapping trees, plus tasting some of that sap. And then we're going to learn about the evaporator part of that process, and then finish the syrup on the stove. And then we're going to create a couple crafts as well and enjoy the maple syrup with some ice cream. And that is this Saturday, April 5th, from 11 to 3 at Wild River State Park. And that's kind of in the Taylor's Falls area, which is just an hour north of the Twin Cities.
You can hang out and do work with the evaporator. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm excited to check it out.
Right on. Hey, it's our friend Ruth Anna Buffalo, Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center CEO. Welcome to Native Roots Radio.
Hi, Dosha. Hello, and Madzigidads. Thank you for having us.
Oh,
we just lost her.
We
audio.
lost something happened to the audio, Ruth.
Uh-oh.
And you were tilting your camera.
Testing.
Maybe hop out and come back in real quick.
Okay.
I'll shout out MIWRC has a spring market coming up in April.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. Let me pull this up here. They're doing a lot of great work. I know that they have I think it's like a ledger artwork class that they just posted today on their social media, and you can sign up for that. I think that class will be in May. But
I want to do ledger artwork.
yeah, right. It looks so cool.
Jeez, I don't know. I got to retire, and so I can start doing the things at Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. Hey, welcome back, Ruth. I can hear you laughing at my joke.
Cool. All right.
It. Right on.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, good to see you both, and thanks for having MIWRC on the show again.
Yes, really important. And Haley was talking about a ledger art class. There's many things happening at Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, and that's take a look, see what's happening this week and what's coming up.
Sure. We just had our Tuesday weekly Resource Connect in the community room in the gym, and so it's really good to see community come through the doors and get, connected to resources. We have targeted case managers from MinOB here on site. We have streets to housing outreach, a lot of other resources on site. And then, of course, the in-house resources of like Nujamo, which helps individuals, families in the community get connected to supportive services. If you've experienced gender-based violence, whether it's domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, we're a safe and brave space, and we're happy to continue serving the community in a loving, nurturing way, staying true to our purpose. And, always thankful for the founders who came together 40 plus years ago, to see the need in the community of helping one another and making sure we live, and flourish.
Did I see some construction on the upper floors? Did I see pictures of that just recently?
Yes. We went on a tour last week, and so, yeah, they're about 38 to 40% complete with the construction. We are slated to open the tenant spaces on floors 3 and 4 in August. We're hoping to have at least 6 tenant units occupied by the end of August 2025. So
remind our audience who's eligible or who would stay in these places.
Yes, so we are we are, as Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, we serve American Indian women and their families. And so that is who all of our activities and programming and supportive services is geared towards. But we will be using the coordinated entry system per funding guidelines, so, but we are working those details out right now, and we hope to continue supporting our community the best way we can. And yeah, lots of good things coming and happening right now. And those 24 units, we used to have 14 units, and we've had people, share and inquire about receiving a tour of the units after they're fully renovated. We've had people who have shared, their interest online, saying, like, for example, they were tenants upstairs for 15 years in the family units. They'd like to tour, the newly renovated spaces. And we're like, yes, of course, lots of history within these walls, and just hoping to continue the good work for the community, with and for and by the community, of course.
Right on. And I know Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center is really probably having a weekly meeting on what their float's going to be here on the Native American parade.
Top
do you
secret.
have any I was going to say, do you have any inside scoop? But you beat me to it.
Yeah, we're having fun with it, and looking forward to another good, fun parade season, and yeah, reigning champs. So.
Well, Haley, I don't know. We got to do something at Native Roots Radio here. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the May 1st Indian Month kickoff parade, which happens every year, and local community organizations all kind of do their own little parade float, and there's a competition for it, and you can win. And my WRC was the champs from last year.
Yes.
And we also have our open house. Whoops, sorry about that. We have our open house schedule too, and I think we're gonna bring that famous cakewalk back too.
Yeah, I'm there. Save me a square.
Yeah, so it's Thursday, May 22nd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So please mark your calendars. That's when our open house will be. Thursday, May 22nd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Stop by and check it out, and we'll see. We'll check with the construction team too to see if there's a way we can maybe give a small tour of one of the floors upstairs,
Well, I'll be working out here, walking sideways for the cakewalk competition. So I'll be working out trying to win that, Ruth Anna.
Yeah, and it was really fun. I know they had one of our staff members. She, her partner, and she too. She's a singer, backup singer, and so both of them were singing. He had his hand drum, and the placeholders. The plates that you step on for the cakewalk were in different languages, Ojibwe and Dakota too. So it's pretty cool. It's you learn something new as well. So it's a good cultural exchange as well. So we encourage everybody to show up, have fun.
Well, Haley's doing Ho-Chunk word of the day. We'll have to send some of those words to you and throw those in the cakewalk too, right, Haley?
Yeah, that'd be well, Ruth. When are you guys doing your spring market?
Our spring market is April 25th, I believe. April 25th, and I believe all vendor spots have been filled. So we're at capacity, and we're looking forward to it. There's also going to be a food sale as well. I hear it may be birria tacos, but we also have a demand for Leah's famous and our favorite fried wild rice egg rolls.
Yeah.
that were a super hit. I mean, like, people were saying that was the main reason why they showed up. We're like, great, we're glad you showed up. But like, yeah, I think Leah's, her fried wild rice egg rolls are a delicacy.
Dang. Do I have to bring my own sweet and sour sauce, or do you guys have that too?
You can, probably bring some too, but I think we'll have some on hand. But yeah, our spring market is April 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here at MIWRC, 2300 15th Avenue, South Minneapolis.
Cool. Ruth Anna, we only have a minute or so. Is there anything you want to get off your chest, or anything that's coming up that our listeners need to know?
Just continue to support MIWRC if you can. I mean, we constantly are, fundraising and trying to secure funding during these times. And so it's we're just super thankful for all of the continued support that MIWRC receives, and the amazing staff that we have here continuing to do such amazing heart work and healing work. So we're just really thankful and look forward to continued partnerships in the community. Ma'ats, thank you.
And Ruth, before you go, I just got to tell you a big peeny for these updates. It's really great to hear what your organization's doing, and it's really good to hear. And thank you so much, and keep up the great work.
Ma'ats, thank you.
Hey, up next, Haley, we're going to do something a little different here, huh?
Yeah, stay tuned. We got a couple of great guests coming on.
Right, and it's gonna, stay tuned, and we'll explain everything. It's first time in Native Roots Radio history we're going to do this, so I'm excited. This is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Do you remember that invincible feeling you used to have? The boundless energy, the clarity of mind, the effort with which you faced every challenge? What if you could feel that again? If you ever took a biology class and heard the term mitochondria, this is the powerhouse of each of your body's cells, and this is where energy is created to do all the things we do. The demands of modern life, such as stress, aging, and environmental toxins, decrease our mitochondrial function, and we experience things like decreased energy, brain fog, and we generally feel exhausted. At Hypercharge Wellness Centers, our treatments offer gateways to rediscover your lost essence, to feel alive, invigorated, and whole once more. Call or go online to schedule your free introductory session valued at $200 today. This is your opportunity to feel the difference for yourself. No matter where you are in the Twin Cities, there is a convenient location near you. Visit hyperchargeclinic.com now. That's hyperchargeclinic.com. Hypercharge is hope.
Hi, this is Ken Hageland, host of Living Healthy and Aging Well, inviting you to listen to our live call-in talk show airing every Saturday from noon to 1, where we talk about your health and your life and provide insights you need to know to live and age well. Each week, we talk with guests who provide answers to important questions regarding healthcare, elder care, end-of-life care, and self-care for caregivers, and help you and your loved ones plan for the future and enjoy your highest quality of life today. Please join us every Saturday from noon to 1 on AM 950 for Living Healthy and Aging Well.
I'm Dr. Stefano Sinacropi, an orthopedic spine surgeon and wellness evangelist, hosting the brand new Recharging the Human Battery show on AM 950 radio. My co-host Mandy Dickey and I will delve into various health topics ranging from medicine to nutrition to exercise, emerging technologies, and yes, some way out there stuff. Will provide a balanced view of today's landscape, helping listeners navigate its complexities and hoping to change the way you think about your health. Recharging the Human Battery airs Saturdays at 11 a.m.
I'm Rachel Schroman, owner of Schroman Law, and I believe you deserve information. Our firm offers free quarterly estate planning seminars at our office in St. Paul. At these seminars, you can learn the basics of estate planning from an attorney to help you determine which estate planning documents will meet your needs and goals in an efficient and cost-effective manner. You can learn more and register at our website, schromenlaw.com/events. That's SCHROMEN law.com/events.
Located just north of 50th in France, the Great Wall Restaurant has provided a delicious taste of authentic Chinese cuisine since 1981. Specializing in Szechuan and Peking dishes, they offer one of the most extensive menus in the Twin Cities. Favorites include hot and sour soup, pan-fried dumplings, and mushu pork with homemade Chinese pancakes. Stop by their Edina location or call for takeout at 952-927-4439. See the full menu at greatwallrestaurant.us.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, rain and snow with a low around freezing. Then Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms with a high around 49. The music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, I want to introduce our guests here, and I'm hoping that they can hear us. And yes, they can. Cool. There's two of you. Right on. Hey, I want to introduce Cindi Martin, Indigenous Interpreter Organization Managing Director, and Angela Blackdeer, ASL Interpreter with IIO, Indigenous Interpreter Organization. This is really cool and really fun. Thanks so much for being on.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here today and ready to go.
Angela, can you tell our listening audience what we're doing right now? Because Cindi is hearing impaired, and this is very cool that you are signing to her what I'm asking, and this is just awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Cindy's interpreter, and Cindi is also actually an interpreter, but she's a deaf interpreter. And so today, actually, we're at a conference, and I give her the English, and she translates that into beautiful ASL. And right now I'm just interpreting everything that you say. So when you hear my voice, it will really be Cindy's talking. Okay.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Cindi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, like you said, my name is Cindi, and this is my sign name. And my sign name was given to me because I love poetry. And so it's actually the ASL word for poetry. And I've always wanted to learn more about poetry and writing. And I was asking for a BIPOC or Native person to give me a name sign. And so I was really excited and honored to be able to get that name sign. So yeah, that's who I am. I live in the Twin Cities, and my father's from Red Lake. And did you see that sign for Red Lake? It looks like the maps.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah, lakes, if you notice that, yeah. And I'm Ojibwe, and this is the sign for Ojibwe. And the reason for that sign is, you could probably guess. I don't know, but it's how the moccasins are made. How Ojibwe moccasins are made, have that kind of pucker toe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm the manager director of Indigenous Interpreters Organization, and that's it for now. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your organizations. And I know whenever there's things happening, people need signers, and maybe how people can get a hold of you too. Talk a little bit about those things.
So we really just set up officially as an organization just last year. And so word is kind of getting out more and more about us. And it came from the fact that, I don't know, we've had so much feedback and so many people contacting us, asking us, to interpret and stuff. So, we just decided, we need to have something more formal, and rolled our sleeves up and jumped in and started this organization so that we could find interpreters. And the first thing that we did is we went to Colorado, and it was so amazing meeting Indigenous interpreters there, and also meeting deaf Native people there. And we went to a sweat, and that was the first thing that we did. And then from there, we went to Iowa to the Meskwaki tribe in Tama, and we interpreted a powwow there. And from that, we also do plays and things like that. So a lot of cultural events, and we do it all. And the best way to contact us is through email right now. And you can go through info@indigenousinterpreter.org. That's it. And that's the best way to get in touch with us if you have any interpreting needs.
Wow, Haley, this is awesome.
Yeah, I would love to know, like, kind of why you guys established your own Indigenous Interpreters Organization. Why was there such a need for that?
Well, for example, so I have, sorry, let me back up. When I grew up, I was the only deaf person around. And, but I was lucky that I had a huge family with lots of brothers and sisters. And I would always have to ask them, they would have to sign to me, like, what is smudge and what is medicine man and things like that, and drum. And so they were teaching me all of those things as I grew up, but there was a lot of information that I wasn't getting access to at all. And I wanted to learn more. And I think, sometimes Indigenous deaf people aren't included in their culture, and they lose that culture and those traditions. And that was something that, we wanted to change. We wanted the deaf community who are Native to be able to be involved with their ceremonies and traditions and culture. And so we started interpreting in our own spaces, where I would go, I would find a Native interpreter. But I know when my dad passed away, I didn't have any interpreter, and I was grieving so much. And I remember there was a white woman that showed up from my school that was like, yeah, I'll interpret, but it wasn't a good fit. And I wanted to know what was going on with everything, and I was grieving, but she didn't understand everything and what was being said. And I was like, I know you're white, but please, like, come. And even, and a lot of white people are, they're afraid to take jobs like that because they're afraid to go into those spaces because they're going to have no idea. Or if they're speaking Ojibwe or something like that, they just feel like, oh, I can't do that, And so we just struggled with finding people. And so the tribes are learning their languages again, and we wanted to have a safe space where, like Angela here, who's interpreting for me, I love how she's learned how to sign like specific words. And, it's an amazing community that we're building and all connecting.
Wow, that's cool. So has there been any pushback, as Natives, we encounter some oppression. So has your organization of Indigenous interpreters experienced any things like that during your work or prior to the work? Any kind of pushback?
We have a few times. Yeah. Before IIO as well, Indigenous Interpreters Organization, I know Angela had some experiences. And we didn't even know we were having the same experience, but I wanted to go to a comedy with Trish Cook, and I was like, Red Lakers, and I was like, I wanted to go and see this comedy show. And so she actually went to an agency and made a request and asked for a Native interpreter. But that agency was like, at the time, Angela was working for Lingo Force, and we hadn't established IIO yet. And so I was getting the runaround about getting a Native interpreter, and I was really disappointed. And they sent somebody who wasn't Native, and they missed so many things because they didn't understand the humor and the comedy. And that was, that's where we really started to open up IIO. And the sad thing is that agency was like, oh, we didn't know there were any certified interpreters. And there's many agencies around. I feel like a lot of times, those agencies are run by white people, and I think that they're really financially motivated. And they talk about hold on, let me catch up 1 second. And the agencies are really motivated by money. And so they'll reach out to Indigenous interpreters and they'll hire us, but then want to, get our price lower because they'll say something like, well, your certification isn't, legal certification. So they're not taking into account the cultural awareness that we have and know. And so we want to be able to interpret for our own communities. We have the qualified interpreters and understand the culture and the content and the language. And so historically, we haven't been involved. And so we have those people who are qualified. And when you put somebody in that is not a cultural match, it's unfortunate. And so the agency that Angela had gone to had refused to pay us. And we lost money because of that, because they wanted to discount the rates and everything. So, and we just don't want those agencies in the middle between Native people and tribal communities anymore.
Wow. I'm surprised by that answer, but I'm glad it was asked, because that's interesting. They want things free, and wow, that's crazy. How many people are in your organization? How many interpreters do you have?
Really, it started with 4 core people and who set up IIO. And I would say right now we have probably we've been working hard at recruiting Indigenous interpreters, Native interpreters. I'd say we have somewhere between 8 and 15 interpreters across the country. And we're starting to expand quickly now.
Wow, that's great. Could you give our listening audience how they can get a hold of you and possibly hire you or get more information?
Yep. They can find us on Facebook. We have an Indigenous Interpreters Organization. So you'll see us there. Our pictures are on there. You'll see us. And then Instagram, we have an Instagram account as well. And then also we have on the internet, you can find Indigenous Interpreters Organization website as well. So you can Google and find it, because we're we're the only ones there. So, and we love working with different tribes and Indigenous people. So we hope you will reach out.
Well, we have a few more questions, and we got to take a quick break, and we're going to come back to you guys. Haley, we are with Cindi Martin, Indigenous Interpreter Organization Managing Director, and Angela Blackdeer, ASL Interpreter with Indigenous Interpreter Organization. We'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio.
Now showing at MIA, artist Mary Sully was a visionary ahead of her time. Born on the Standing Rock Reservation, she worked in near obscurity between the 1920s and 1940s, creating intricate, vividly colored drawings that blend Dakota heritage with modern life. Now on display at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, experience the first solo exhibition featuring Mary Sully's work and see how her art challenges traditional ideas of Native and modern art. Only at MIA, and always free to visit. Learn more at artsmia.org. The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Have you considered a career in the museum field? The Minnesota Historical Society is now accepting applications for its Native American Museum Fellowship. The 10-week summer program is a mix of workshops, seminars, and hands-on internships at the Minnesota Historical Society. It is open to undergraduate students, recent graduates, and community scholars with an interest in museums and heritage studies. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts. How?
Oh! Hey, we are here with Cindi Martin, Indigenous Interpreter Organization Managing Editor, and Angela Blackdeer, ASL Interpreter with Indigenous Interpreter Organization. And Angela is interpreting for Cindi right now, and I this is going really good, Haley.
I think so too. I love learning about this organization, and like they've been talking about, not so many like it exist, which is why it's really important we're talking about it right now. I would love to know, Cindi, what is the significance of American Sign Language, or ASL?
ASL stands for American Sign Language. And there's a large amount that actually comes from Plains Indian Sign Language. A lot of times people are taught that it's French Sign Language, which, you know, maybe some of it is influenced, but really but there was a man that went to France and did include some of that, but a lot of it was based on PIS. And for example, from, over the years, it's changed to what we have today. But for us at IAO, we are working on decolonizing the language and ASL within the content. And so ASL doesn't have that. It's definitely a colonized language. And we work a lot on decolonizing the language, because it's healing, and that's a way that we heal in our community and in the deaf communities that are Indigenous as well. So we're providing things like ceremonies, interpreting access at powwows, conferences, many different things. Also, theater is one of the things that we love from Native authors. And one thing that I wanted to mention, I'm going to be in a play coming up pretty soon. I'm the anti-character, and it's Nij is the Indigenous theater that was recently set up, and they're all Ojibwe actors, all of them. And the author is from Canada, from Toronto. And the author is Joelle Peters. Oh, Peters. Sorry. Joelle Peters is the author, and she's also Ojibwe. And so we've kind of changed a few things, but it's going to be May 9th is the opening of that. And that's the first opening, and we'll have IIO interpreters there. So if you want to meet us, you can come and join and watch that play. And we're really excited about that. And then I think it's that weekend at 3 days on that same weekend, and then the next weekend as well. So we're really excited about that. But yeah, decolonizing the language.
Awesome.
I just have a quick question. Sorry, Haley. So I've seen over the years that Native Americans signed with other tribes when they were trading thousands of years ago. Is that true? And is any of that part of the signing that you do or anybody else does? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And the answer is yes, you're 100% right. And we did communicate hundreds and thousands of years ago. Yeah, in real life, that like that's exactly how it was. And we're learning from that as Indigenous interpreters to decolonize it using Plains Indian Sign Language. So yeah, we were the first ones to sign.
That's very cool. Hey, what are some of the biggest barriers, in your opinion, for those that rely on ASL?
Having some experiences, you know, like growing up, I think white people tend to criticize the way that I sign. And there's been some arguments about how to sign Indian or Native. And the old sign came from saying that we smell dirty or we smell bad. And so I don't like that sign. I don't use that sign. And I've had people argue with me about that and disagree. And so that's a big issue for our community. That's a barrier right now for us. And we have to be very direct with people that is my sign. And if that's, you know, have to decolonize it and don't tell me how to sign something. So I think that that's a barrier specifically to Native deaf community.
Yeah.
Wow. I just got to say, Haley and I are Ho-Chunk, and that means people of a big voice or sacred voice. But we were called Winnebago, which means stinky, dirty water in French. So we're right along with you, right, Haley?
Yeah, that sounded very familiar too when she was talking about that. Cindi, I would love to know also, what do you wish people knew about our deaf and hard of hearing relatives?
I would wish for them to really be able to know and be known and cherished, and that they're important too, and to not ignore the people who are deaf and hard of hearing. We just need access, you know, to language, but we're important too. And that's really important to me because growing up, you know, generationally, you know, hold on one second. Past generations sometimes would voice for themselves. And, you know, some people do that and some people don't, and that's okay. But really just to know that they're important and included.
Wow. Devery says some really cool things. Haley, I don't know if you saw that. That's amazing. And maybe we can form that into a quick question before we end the show.
Yeah, so Devery says on Facebook, with IIO serving as interpreters at powwows and other events, Native deaf people who normally don't get out can now enjoy programming in their Indigenous communities. That is an important and groundbreaking service for the deaf Native community. So thank you very much, IIO, and that's coming from Devery.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that comment. Thank you.
This has been so amazing. I want to just say a big thank you, a big peeny to you, Cindi and Angela. I feel like we're kind of doing some groundbreaking radio here, Haley.
I think so too. We'll have to get him back on now and
Before
definitely,
the play.
Supporting the play. That's
Yes. Please have us on, and we'd love to talk more about that with you, Kim. And thank you so much for having us.
Right. One quick thing, Angela, if you just want to say how people can get in touch with you and get your service again, real quick.
Yep. Phone number is 612-567-4500, and the email is info@indigenousinterpreter.org.
Wow, Peeny, thank you so much. What a great show, Haley, and thank you, Cindi and Angela. We'll have you on again soon.
Miigwech. Wopira.
Right on. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the 7th generation.